Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Fakrul Azim bin Fadil. For this video, our group will explain about the strain gauge sensor. A strain gauge sensor is a sensor whose resistance varies with applied force. It converts force, pressure, tension, weight, and others into a change in electrical resistance which can then be measured. When external forces are applied to a stationary object, stress and strain are the result. Stress is defined as the object's internal resisting force, as strain is defined as the displacement and deformation that occur. The strain gauge is one of the most important sensors of the electrical measurement technique applied to the measurement of mechanical quantities. As their name indicates, they are used for the measurement of strain. As a technical term, strain consists of tensile and compressive strain, distinguished by a positive or negative sign. Thus, strain gauge can be used to pick up expansion as well as contraction.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ashrafi, and to continue on with this strain gauge sensor, there are actually quite a few types of strain gauge sensor, and one of them is the bonded metal ball, and as shown in this diagram. So here, as we can see, because there are tension and compression that are being applied, the measured value will be the change in resistance. So this change in resistance is proportional to the change in length on the surface of the object being tested, like how this equation shows. So next, to continue on further, what kind of application that can actually be used for this strain gauge? So one of the examples is like in civil engineering and geotechnical monitoring, they use strain gauge to regularly detect failure in structures like building, bridges, and much more. They are used because they have high precision function that can do well at long distance from the test object.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Arif Iskandar bin Kamal Pasha from class 3B KGS2, and my matrix number is B0118101144. Now I will be continue discussing about the advantages and disadvantages of strain gauge. Firstly, we will go with the advantages, and the first advantage is the ease with which they can be used. With the size of a typical strain gauge that is usually relatively small, they are usually easy to be handled with. Second, they are relatively low cost. Most of the strain gauge sold are cheap and quite inexpensive. That is why it is more being used than others. And thirdly, they are accurate. Electrical resistance strain gauge have a sensitivity of about 1 microstrain, which is extremely accurate. Next, I will be discussing about the disadvantages, and the first disadvantages is limitations of reusability. Once the strain gauge is installed, it could only be used for a particular specimen. Also, the gauges are good only for a single installation, which means they can only be reused only to the extent that they remain undamaged and on the original specimen. And lastly, they are hard to be mastered. Strain gauge installation is quite tricky and requires professional assistance. It is somewhat of an art, but it can be mastered with a little practice. That is all from me. Thank you.